Hey there everyone, that sexy nerd is back again. And I know a lot of you were missing some overanalyzing Avatar. Well, it's back and I'm doing 6 episodes at once. So each one is going to be filmed at the same time. So Bato of the Watertribe. So I remember I was complaining about this episode in the last one because I feel like it gets way too much hate. For no reason, honestly. It's actually a really good episode. So, you know, I know what everybody, and I'll bring up the biggest point of contention right now. Aang's change of character and in this episode. It's not out of character. I keep maintaining this because, again, what would you do if the last of your people, all of your people were gone, and then the only 2 people that you know in the world might leave you? What would you do? A lot of people would probably do worse than what he did, and at least he gave the damn paper back. So I really don't see why there's so much hate on this episode. This is actually a very good episode. There's the first appearance of that red lady with the huge shrew, and and she's played by a good voice actress as well. And there's also a really good fight at the end, too. And Appa even gets involved. So, again, I really don't see why this episode gets so much hate. It's undeserving in my eyes. It's actually a damn good episode. It's not one of my favorites, but it's a damn good episode. But then again, like, this whole show has, like, every episode is, like, amazing. So, it's really hard to even pick out the best. So, but anyway, with that being said, let's just get into the episode. And remember, please smash that like button if you want to see more sexy and nitty content, and subscribe if you think I deserve it. And let's do this thing, y'all.
Hey, look, a sword made out of a whale's tooth.
You know, I think the technological divide in this show is really cool. The Fire Nation has had access to steam power for over 100 years at this point. But even in modern day, water tribesmen are going into battle with weapons made of animal parts.
See, Prince Zuko? A moment of quiet.
Holy samurai warrior!
Okay, I know this episode is called Bato, the Water Tribe, but honestly, it should have been called, oh, there goes June on that big fucking monster thing she's got. Seriously, she steals the whole show in this episode. So Nyla has the bite force to tear into steel flooring and rip it apart. Nyla might be the most powerful single being in this entire show based on that alone.
My sheer shoe can smell a rat a continent away.
Well, I'm impressed.
Oh boy.
Very impressed.
You and me both, Iroh. You and me both. No solid moon continuity to call back on this one, Avatar. It's been a few episodes since we've seen it, so you get away with this one. In this flashback, you can actually see Bato for a second here.
Sokka.
I'm coming with you.
You're not old enough to go to war, Sokka. You know that.
Sokka grappling with the nature of his own manhood is pretty much the entire theme of this episode. He wasn't enough of a man to go to war, and he still holds some guilt about that. It sets up a little mini character arc that's contained to this one episode. Immediately, you can see the effect that finding this boat, a piece of home, and a reminder of the men that went to war is having on Sokka. He's usually happy to get to bed, but he's awake now, tending the fire, keeping an eye out.
What smells so good, Bato?
The sisters craft ointments and perfumes.
And here's our designated Chekhov's gun for the episode.
Perfume? Maybe we could dump some on Appa, because he stinks so much. Am I right?
I bet you guys weren't expecting this so soon, but here we go. Inconclusive evidence of normal bear. So Aang's vegan, right? I would think his palate would be pretty diversely accepting when it comes to fruits and vegetables, but he doesn't like apples or sea prunes. What does he like?
I tell you, those were not actual apples. They were too wide.
Shit, Momo doesn't even like it. He'll eat anything.
Hey, I ride animals too. One time there was this giant eel. And
Goes without saying, but this is a reference to the Kyoshi Island episode. What pelt do you think this is of? A polar leopard? Seems too big to be a polar leopard to me. So what is it?
Is that it? The hell is? Oh, hi, Ryu.
Look at this fucking creepypasta person in the background here for a second.
I'd love to help you out, but I'm a little short on money.
Drinks on me!
Oh, hell yeah.
Money isn't what I had in mind.
As far as I'm concerned, Katara had the necklace for 6 episodes, and not including this episode, Zuko's had it for 7. This is Zuko's necklace.
Plus, we'll pay your weight in gold.
Make it your weight, then we got a deal.
Man, they characterized June so hard and so well here. She's been on screen for probably 90 seconds at this point, but I'm already so sure of what she's about and how she acts.
If you wait here until the message arrives, you can come with me and see your father again.
I can agree with the widely stated sentiment that this misunderstanding is cliched as hell. Aang leaves just before they say they need to go with him, which would have nipped the misunderstanding in the bud.
But we can't. We have to take Aang to the North Pole first.
Avatar usually takes a more nuanced approach to these situations, but we're still in the early game, and this is definitely the exception and not the rule. Okay, so I've scoured the Atla world map pretty thoroughly, trying to find anything that looks like this, and I haven't found anything. Which means it's probably got to be a pretty small scale map, which in turn means, how the hell are you supposed to find anyone with a map this small? And crumpling the map is a pretty bad, which in turn means, how the hell are you supposed to find anyone with a map this small? And crumpling the map is a pretty bad character moment. But that's the thing. It's a character moment. And it's not out of character. Remember the last time Aang lost his family? It's not on as serious of a scale, but you can still see why he feels this way. They're all he's got. Okay, so Momo was...
You see what I mean? You see what I mean? I'm so glad he agrees with me on that. Because I've always thought that this episode gets way too much hate.
Probably in like 500% more shots than you realize. He's always just like hanging on stuff off in the background, but he's there. And I think it's pretty cool that they took the time to do that.
This lady.
Fresh air, are we?
I love the herbalist's big dick energy here. Just like shooting this shit to 3 hard-ass looking people on top of a snarling monster. That's tight. Man, Aang been practicing.
She don't care about
How about
nothing,
you,
though.
Sokka? You must have some good stories from your first time ice dodging.
He never got to go. Dad left before he was old enough.
Sokka wasn't enough of a man to go to war, and he wasn't enough of a man to go ice dodging. They're doing something here. Just wait. A similar amount of big dick energy from On Wu here. She doesn't just shoot the shit with people on top of a 15-foot tall, snarling monster. She walks up and starts flirting with one of them. That's some shit.
Care to hear your fortune, handsome?
At my age, there is really only one big surprise left. And I'd just as soon leave it a mystery.
I love
Haikus with Iroh. Just the most relaxing thing. It's just him saying that just put me in such a good mood.
Iroh's takes, man. Just like the chillest dude ever even thought of. I wish modern Western cultures had rites of passages like this. Just, you turn 14, and you and 2 of your closest...
Mystery.
I love Iroh's takes, man. Just like the chillest dude ever even thought of. I wish modern Western cultures had rites of passages like this. Just, you turn 14, and you and 2 of your closest buddies go to do something just because you can. And if you can't, you fucking die. But no, when I steal a boat and weave it through deadly rocks, I'm just breaking countless maritime laws and going to jail. Okay, you gave them these marks and all, but you also set a line for each member of the team with the key word of the mark in that line before they started.
Sokka, lead wisely. Sokka, the mark of the wise. Katara, you'll be brave. For Katara, the mark of the brave. Aang, your position is about trust. And for Aang, the mark of the trusted.
I'm starting to think that you already had these marks in mind and didn't grade them accordingly, Bato.
I was afraid he was.
This is the map to our father! You had it the whole time? How could you? Well, you can go to the North Pole on your own. I'm going to find Dad.
This seems like an overreaction to me. There's no dialogue between them. There's no chance for Aang to explain. He only really kept it a secret for a few hours. And Katara feels the same way.
I'm with you, Sokka.
I feel like that's the weakest character moment in the episode.
Yeah, I always thought that was way too rushed. And I feel if the episode was just a little bit longer, maybe they could have explained that away and maybe built that up or just been like, grr. Like, you know, because I don't think in my beat that Sokka would have overreacted as much as he did if he took the time to think about it. And he knows that Aang lost all of his people. And I know he's angry, but I feel like Sokka would have handled that a little bit differently, you know?
Not Aang's.
Good luck.
Okay.
And Katara as well.
And they're just gonna straight up leave him. Yeah. That's an enormous leap, man. Our fucking door! What the hell, man?
No. It's been separated from the pack. I understand that pain.
Bato, dude, back up. Give me some room.
It's how I felt when the Watertribe warriors had to leave me behind. They were my family, and being apart from them was more painful than my wounds.
This is the payoff for that mini character arc. There's a surface level one where Sokka's family left him behind and he won't do that to Aang. But there's another point here too. He was too young to go to war and he was too young to go ice dodging. A boy would leave Aang behind, but being a man is about knowing where you're needed the most.
So this is your girlfriend. No wonder she left. She's way too pretty for you.
Stop it, June. You're gonna make the Zutara people jump out of their fucking seats.
How stupid do you think I am? Pretty stupid. Run!
Well, the plan had heart, Sokka. I'll give you that. Well, at least we got the door fixed up. That was a real pain. Ah!
Not the door again.
Hell yeah, Appa. I don't think anyone at this point ever thought we were gonna get an Appa fight scene, but I'm here for it.
See?
Wow, Aang's actually holding on to his staff for a good little bit here. Maybe for once he'll act. Oh! Alright, you're gonna think I'm crazy, but this is straight up the best action scene in the entire book before the North Pole. It's sick. We've got two different fights happening at the same time that are interacting with each other, and Zuko and Aang are actually fighting for once. It's not just an instant wash. I'm calling this the real Zuko versus Aang round one. It's got like speed and weight and balance to it. It's awesome. Just shout out to the timing on this shot. It's awesome. It's just timed like perfectly.
That thinks he's with its nose. Let's give him something to look at. The perfume?
Oh, and there's Chekhov's gun doing its thing.
Uncle, I didn't see you get hit with the tongue.
Oh, you're lucky you're endearing, Aro. You're walking on the razor's edge with this one. But god damn it, it is funny.
Oh, that's so sweet of Zuko. Would you give him a kiss for me when you see him?
Sure.
I already did that meme last episode. Get out of here, you son of a bitch. So I know this one's pretty widely disliked, but I think it gets a little too much hate.
Yeah.
Just a little. It's got a lot of really cool stuff, the Sokka parts especially. This is honestly a low-key Sokka episode if you ask me. And the fight is great. Like, stand out, seriously. I think if you're a hater of this episode, go back and try not to tunnel vision on the Aang stuff too hard. And you'll probably have a way better time with it. Okay, next up is the Deserter, which is another interesting one from Aang's perspective.
I honestly couldn't have summed it up better myself. Yeah, the episode gets way too much hate, and really, if you guys really think that, give it another watch and see how your opinion has changed over the years. Because, like, honestly, your taste could have matured, or because I think the only bad part is the way Sokka and Katara react. If I feel like they would have just talked about it. I mean, again, this is the same guy who was trapped inside of a freaking crevice or whatever, trying to hunt the baby thing, and he didn't curse the little baby thing out, so I mean, things kind of I felt Sokka was a little bit more patient than the way he was depicted in that episode. But what do you think? Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think about this episode. So please smash that like button if you want to see more sexy yet nerdy content, and subscribe if you think I deserve it. And I'm starting next with the Deserter, so join me in the next episode.